Good morning, lovely people.
Good morning. Welcome.
Sylvana, for those who don't know who we are, and lovely Gwen.
Hello.
We're dialing in from South Africa, all the way from Lonehill.
Mm-hmm.
And why do I say South Africa? Because we've been featured all the way from China and from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
That's how far our podcasts are getting attention, which is lovely.
This is exciting. Our community starts.
Yes. As of Tuesday, our latest video has had likes of about 60 views so far.
That is exciting.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Yes. Where previously our views were like 10, 22,
Yes.
now 60. There's more to come. This is just the start. This is just the beginning, and it's going to flow and it's going to grow. And we want to thank every single person and every like. Because if it wasn't for you liking those videos, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And we love what we do.
Absolutely. So thank you very, very much. And I'd like to do a little bit of an introduction so that we can all ground ourselves from whatever's happening, the dogs barking outside, coming to sit down and just bringing us into the space where we can breathe. So close your eyes just for a few minutes and bring yourselves into a space where you can just feel yourself sitting on the chair, present. Take a deep breath in and out. Sit quietly before the next breath and in. As you breathe out, feel your presence, present on the chair, bringing yourself inside. Wait before you breathe and feel your weight on the chair. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you for that. It's always such a lovely experience to get the clearing. It's fabulous. So,
Yes.
to start our podcast, we touched very briefly on last week that we were going to talk about grounding. Yes, it's got to do with Mother Earth, with Gaia, with your soil of your earth, your grass on your lawn, and getting down to nature and down to the fundamentals of Gaia and connecting your root chakra to Mother Gaia and connecting with her energies. But I'm going to leave that to Gwen. She's going to tell us more about what does grounding do, the benefits of it, and how can you in your daily life manage grounding. Off to you, lady.
So first of all, what is grounding and why do we need it? We spoke about it last week about, sometimes people so flippantly say, well, go outside and just put your feet on the ground and go and ground yourself. So you go outside, you put your feet on the ground. Well, now what? What do you want me to do? What do you want from me?
What am I supposed to see or feel?
Exactly. So grounding is actually a state of being. It has got nothing to do with the ground. It's got nothing to do with anything outside of yourself. It is a state of being from within. So a lot of our life is chaotic. Traffic, children, family, work issues, all of this stuff, our own internal hurts that we haven't dealt with, creates a lot of chaos and a lot of swirling, a lot of being pulled in all sorts of directions. And we've spoken about this before. But grounding allows one to come fully into a state where you're not relying on anything externally, but your own awareness to bring you into a state of calm. We've coined the phrase now from last week, woosah. Now, how do we do this? So, there are various ways, and people do things in various ways.
Whatever's comfortable for you. If you want to go and sit outside on the lawn, on the grass with Mother Gaia, go and do it. That's even a more deeper connection if you do it that way.
But before even that, what we did now in the beginning, You breathe, you close your eyes, go inside. Feel yourself, feel your body. And as you breathe in, when you breathe out, feel your weight, the weight of your bum on the chair, the presence of the chair, how the cushion or the seat is hugging your bum, the weight of your body on the chair or the ground or the bed, wherever you are. And this immediately brings you into a state of feeling and into a state of being. And once you are doing that, you have then brought yourself in, and already that is a state of grounding. That's just the beginning part of it. Then we can take it a step further. Once you're at this point where you're breathing in and out, and as you breathe out, you bring yourself into your body and into your body awareness on the chair. We've established this now. Your breath is another form that can help you enormously. You can feel this line connection from the top of your head. Now, instead of going up, bring that connection in down. Inside of you, you can visualize this. And as you visualize this, you take it all the way through the center of your being and out. I'm sorry if we get censored for this. In between your genitals and your anus, there's a piece of skin there. And that bit of skin is where the root chakra is. And that root chakra, you can actually open. So a very physical...
Not physically, people.
Yeah, hold on to what you need to, right? But what you can do is that sensation of pushing when you go to the toilet. Now, don't go to the toilet, but it's that same sensation of push. In between that bit of skin, that skin there. So you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you can push slightly. Do it now. Just close your eyes, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, slightly push on that bit of skin. Become aware of that skin. And as you feel, you can actually get a sensation there that you can willingly, within your mind, now
expand.
Tell it to open. And as you open that, there's a sensation, more of a feeling there, like an energy sensation or not quite a tingling, but there's awareness. You know what I mean? You have that awareness, and you can send that down through the ground, and you can visualize that. A lot of people can actually feel that, and it's like a cord about that big, and you send it down into the earth. Now, a lot of people would recommend that you send that all the way down into the center of the earth, and as you do that, you're sending all your awareness down, and now you're grounding. And if you get that sensation at that bit of skin, you're bringing all your centers down, all your awareness down there. And that is what they call grounding.
But it takes practice, people. This is not just a nilly-willy, let me just go and sit there and just go, now I know how to do it. No.
It's an everyday practice.
It's dedication. You've got to be committed to want to connect to your grounding, into your inner core. It's like having to wake up every morning and take a breath, and now I have to start my day and put my clothing on and start my ritual for the day and ground myself and center myself. It's a commitment that you have to do every single day of your life.
And it might start off where you need to imagine it. So fake it till you make it is the whole thing. And so if you imagine all these things happening, eventually what does occur is that you start feeling more of that sensation within that root chakra, that bit of skin. You can feel it. You can even say to yourself, I will you to open. I am grounded. And you just feel that part. Some people even say if you feel the coccyx and you bring your awareness into the coccyx and you say to that area of your body, I am grounded. it immediately brings you back down. And as this feeling grows, so this is the important part that we need to focus on, not the imagining, not the mental state of it, but the actual feeling state of it. Because like I said in the beginning, it is a state of beingness. It's not an imagined thing. Grounding is exceptionally important when it comes to higher states of consciousness, and when you need to start doing energy work and start learning how to open the chakras and pass energy through the body. You need to know how to be grounded and what you're doing. But more, that's down the line. We're now talking about what does it mean to ground. So as we're sitting here and we're doing our daily practices, grounding, 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 you can then use that wherever you are. Sitting in the car, you drive, somebody cuts you off. This idiot, these bloody drivers. Woo! Okay, I'm now out of it.
Yes.
You can pull yourself in and ground, because you've now mapped out how to do it for yourself. And like riding a bicycle, you get on the bicycle, you just know how to do it if you've done it enough times. The same thing with this grounding. And as you've got your map planned out, faster and faster can you come into that state of just being present in your body without the chaos happening around you. A lot of life whips you out like that.
It's the messes that we create. It's the traumas that we've never dealt with. It's the pain that we've left unresolved, that we carry with us through timelines, through generations, through bloodline, and through our DNA. And we touched on this. We specifically touched on DNA, on how you carry that trauma and you leave it unresolved. You can change it. You can heal it and fix it. But it's, oh no, no, I don't have the time for it right now. I'm too busy. No, just leave it. Meanwhile, the moment that you start activating on grounding and on breathwork and alignment of yourself, all these other things become irrelevant. I was worrying about shit, about tomorrow, about what's going to happen to me a week from now, unresolved. And when you get to next week and to tomorrow, that whole thing that you've created in your mind has dissolved by doing the breath work, by grounding, by aligning your energy. Your energy is your core. By aligning your energy, you center yourself back into what you are meant to do and what you are on this planet.
Exactly. Because if there are too many things being pulled from all these directions, and they're coming from the subconscious as well, you don't know where you are from Arthur or Martha this minute to the next. And so by doing these practices where you're constantly aligning your energies and you're bringing it down and you're bringing it down, you're creating a path for yourself that is then easier to begin to deal with these karmic relationships, the work issue that keeps coming up, that you can't figure out, why is this constantly in my face? Why, even when I go to the next job, the same kind of people keep coming up. The same patterns evolve again and again and again. And so by coming in to be doing these grounding practices, you allow for that deeper message of why these things are happening to filter into your consciousness so that you can deal with it. It also trains you how to begin to feel correctly so that you can deal with these issues.
And why does Gwen touch on the feeling the whole time? When you feel in your state of meditation, when you are in that energy state and you are switched off from the world, you've now found your center and you're quiet and you've closed your eyes and you're breathing. When you feel a feeling come up through your meditation session, you need to address that feeling. Why am I feeling that feeling? And the moment that you focus on that feeling and you address that feeling, you can then wipe it out. I've seen you. I know what the feeling was. Why did you come up? Oh, that was what I'm supposed to feel out of the feeling, and get it out the way. And the more you do that feeling work of addressing the feelings and the traumas and the pain and the surges and the anger and the resentment
and the grief,
you wipe it out. You wipe it out, but it takes work. This is not just, oh, I'm doing it on Monday, oh, and then the rest of the week I keep on fucking up. It's going to keep on showing up in your face. You're going to keep on having to deal with that feeling until you resolve it. It won't go away, people. Sorry.
Yeah, you need to truly allow yourself and train yourself into knowing that whatever feelings do come up, they're there for a reason, and they're there to tell you something. To teach you, so that you can go up into the next state of consciousness. Yeah.
So I had a beautiful client yesterday. And one of the things that she's experiencing at the moment, I connected with her on a site where I teach and help people. I counsel, I meditate, and I show people how to resolve inner turmoil, trauma, especially inner trauma, with my background and my history. And she is in a corporate environment at the moment, but she's so dynamic that she's so scared that she's going to fail into the new role that has been acquired into her scope. She's been with the company for years, and what she's realizing is that the pressure is so much that she's starting to become ugly towards her family, unknowingly, subconsciously, and she doesn't confide in anybody else, only but when we connect. So I find it so endearing and so lovingly that she trusts me enough to speak to me about this. How does she deal with it? How does she cope with that trauma? And the most simple thing that I could explain to her was, you are a radio. I actually want to try and get a physical box so I can show you what I mean. You've got 2 buttons on that radio, okay? With your DNA being a frequency transmitter, you are sending out the signals of that anxiety out into the universe every single moment of your day. We process over 10,000 thoughts throughout the day because we're thinking of this, looking at that, seeing this, and being exposed to all this digital exposure is just adding to that volume of that exposure. And you are a radio frequency. And the more you send out signals of this anxiety, the fear, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm going to fail, I suck at my job, my family hates me, my children hate me, my husband's going to leave me, blah, blah, blah. You are sending out that signal. So you have to start changing the tune, the knobs. And you are in control of that radio station. You are in control of the DNA frequency transmitting the signals out of your body. The more you start changing the buttons to align to your inner core and your energy, the more you start settling down and grounding into what is positive, what is flowing, what is abundant, what is thankful. I'm thankful for my day. I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for the clothing I've got on, the car that I drive, the house I live in, the food I have in my cupboard. And the more you start changing that frequency, you start coming down into yourself. It's because we are all over the show. We are everywhere but here. You need to be here inside yourself, not there. You're not going to find your answers externally. You need to find your answers internally by changing that radio frequency inside your body.
And how do we do this? By being present, by being grounded, knowing what you're doing. When we started the podcast, we spoke about these different forms of awareness. So let's go through that again, just to simplify what you're actually talking about, to actually identify within your own awareness and seeing where these things lie for yourself. Because it's easy to just listen to this information and take it in. But once you start being able to identify it within yourself, what am I doing? That's what that is.
That's the trigger.
That's what I'm doing here. But now remember what they said about coming in and grounding it. So, our different states of awareness. We have the external world, this 3-dimensional reality that we call life, all of us here on planet Earth. Now, within that 3-dimension reality, we have our brains. And our brains are here to think. They're here to register, process, take in information, translate it into experience for us. Our brain is not where the soul or the awareness exists. It has functions. Now, through birth, through our indoctrination of how this place works, we've come to understand that we have a name, we have a personality, we have a culture, we have a color skin, we have a body, we have color hair, language, color eyes, all of these things which make up who I am. So I am Gwendolyn, and that is my name, and that is my identity, and this is how I look. I have this color skin, I have blue eyes, I have a sanguine personality, I'm all over the place. But this is not who I am.
Correct.
This is just an identity. This is the ego awareness. So the ego awareness keeps on trying to make itself a something.
Seen.
Whether it be, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling very hurt by what you just said, and it will constantly create a scenario of you and me, duality, good and bad, right, wrong, black, white, pink, purple. There's always this association. That is what the ego does. It constantly tries to validate itself and its experience in knowing that, okay, I'm real, I'm here, this is what I am. This is what I'm feeling, this is what I look like. And we broadcast this out psychically, actually, to everybody.
And verbally.
verbally and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, beyond this, there's now the mind, okay, that's constantly going. Validating. This is where the ego sits, this validating. Constantly going, all the time. Naming things, having judgment. Huge one is having this judgment. Making judgment calls about things. And then, of course, all the stories that go with it. When you're having a conversation with someone, when you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to me talking, you can see within your mind all of this is going on. And while all of this is going on, you're making judgments about, yeah, what she's saying, yeah, I can identify with that. Ooh, her hair looks a bit weird today. Whatever the story is, that's the mind constantly going. Behind that, there is now this observer watching you thinking these thoughts, watching the conversation happening, watching the screen. So there's a lot of these layers that are happening, but this observer consciousness, it doesn't judge. Correct. It doesn't make decisions. It doesn't have thoughts. It merely observes. And this is the state of consciousness of who and what we actually are. But it sits as pure potential until you actually
activate into it.
Exactly. You need to make a conscious choice to be in that awareness. And that awareness helps you come into your meditation and be in your body and ground. That is the consciousness we need to grow.
Correct.
Not the stories, not the patterns of the ego. And so now, when you come into awareness of all of this, it ties in with what you were saying of being the broadcaster. What are we broadcasting out there? So if we constantly in our ego and we're having these ego conversations and these traumas bubbling up and all of this happening, we're just going to create more of that.
But we like that. We know that. And
we're told that's who we are.
But we are comfortable with that. Because of how we've been programmed from childhood into whatever family you were born into, and system and country and political and government, and it's everything that you've been fed into visual absorption into your body. That's all you know. And you like that. You only know that. Now Gwen and I come along. What are those two talking about? I've never heard of this conversation before. I've never seen a podcast like this before. You are so used to that conditioning and that programming and that trauma that has been dragged on through centuries and through bloodlines into your current timeline that you don't want to let go. You don't know, fuck, I'm not going to do that shit. What the hell are they talking about? I don't know that. If you don't, you will keep on remaining in the pain which manifests into your body and makes your body sick, which turns into cancer and illnesses and conditions in your body that you've never been able to think or thought up will start manifesting in your body because you don't want to let go of the trauma, people. That's the problem. That is why grounding and energy work and centering yourself into yourself, inside this body, is so essential, into that conscious state that Gwen's talking about. Realizing that you've got a conscious state that's sitting here, waiting for you to acknowledge, hello, you are not the ego. You are so much more than the ego.
And what you have been taught, your trauma, your suffering.
Correct.
This is not who we are. We have been, as Sylvana says, dragging all of this stuff with us, thinking that that's who we are. That's our lot in life. But when you take responsibility and you go, okay, there's more. Let me play with this. And I encourage you, go and play with it. Go and make it your experience, because it's only you that can take that responsibility.
Correct.
No one can do this work for you.
Correct.
A lot of the time what happens is we find ourselves either a family member that we really, really are attached to dies, or we have a very bad accident where we've lost a limb or an ability, or, you can't just get up and go and work. You have to be at home and heal your body, or your child dies or goes missing, or some event happens that wakes you up and goes, there must be more to life than this. Or I'm in so much pain and suffering. Why am I forsaken here? We feel like we've been abandoned. We feel like we've been accused or left. And these states take us into questioning deeper. And so as we do that, we start to come into a state of needing to go beyond where we've been. And by grounding and knowing how to ground, it's very simple. You allow the space for that suitcase to then be unpacked and open itself, so that you can then look at this suitcase that's been dragged. And you don't have to rummage around in the stories. That's not the point. You don't have to tear your hair out at the grief of losing whatever. But you do need to feel the feeling. Feel that grief deeply. Not to linger in it for years. Maybe it's a day, an hour. Maybe it's a week. But maybe it's a few months of undoing the layers and layers.
That takes time. When I came back from China, I was sent to China to go and shed my ego. The amount of ego I went into China with was monstrous. Gwen knows the story. I confided into her about a few months ago what happened in China. Not a lot of people know the full story. And I went there to go and shed my ego. I was sent there. You want to keep on carrying and dragging your pain along and not deal with it and not let it go? Come, I'm going to show you. I'm going to whip you around in China like you have never been whipped around in your life before. The things that I went through in China. Dodging the police. having no visas and having to reissue visas because of me letting my ego trump what my consciousness was trying to show me what could possibly have happened in China. I'm sure that everybody's got a journey and everybody's got a path they have to follow, okay? I know that had I stayed in China and not had gone through what I had gone through, I would probably still be in China, living there. My child would have joined me by now. We would have settled and done our thing in China. But I know that I was there to go and learn, to reveal my gifts that I have today through that trauma and through that experience, to shed the ego, because your ego will destroy you. And what I do not and I cannot understand and I cannot comprehend about human beings, you live in pain every single day of your life.
Suffering.
Your body is manifesting your pain and your trauma. Your joints are aching. Your hands are in pain. You've got cancer. You've got illnesses in your body right now. You have manifested that pain and that illness by not letting go of the shit that you are dragging around, whether it's coming from your bloodline, through your womb when you carried your baby, manifested into your child, and carried it along and not have dealt with the trauma and the pain that you've been dragging along. You are sitting there in pain. You've got pain right now, but you will still sit with it and you won't deal with it and you won't go to a point of healing and transcendence and grounding and alignment and breath work and bringing yourself, this conscious being, your conscious self that is sitting here on your peripheral area, back into yourself, literally by pulling it back into yourself so that you can start healing. And you will keep on year after year. Oh, I'm in so much pain. Oh, let me go for chemo. Oh, I'll try this drug. I'll try this injection. I'll try this. I'll try that. You can heal yourself by letting go of the shit that you have been put into that little suitcase that Gwen's talking about, that you keep on locking it up. No, I'm not going to open up the suitcase. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to face it. You need to face it so that you can heal, people.
But now, she's giving you the da-da! Don't fret. You don't have to deal with everything at once. You don't have to go, well, I don't know what to do, but I don't know what to... How am I supposed to? Calm.
Not me.
Sit down.
Throw the suitcase out the door.
Sit down. She tried it. It came flying back in and clapped on the side of the head. So, calm. Sit down and just ground. One thing will be dealt with at a time. But you need to make the choice to come in and find out what it is to ground, what it is to be present, and go looking for that observer. Just notice it. It's there continuously, whether you acknowledge it or not. It is right there. You just need to go and look. And what you do to do that, sit down,
lie down,
like we showed you, breathe, and feel yourself on the chair. Once you get to a point where you are ready, your higher self will give you little bits and pieces out of that suitcase to then start to deal with. You will not be given something you cannot deal with. Also know, none of this is happening outside of you. None of this, the universe and the angels.
And everybody hates me. I'm going to eat some worms. No, the world hates me and I'm going to eat some worms. This was me 3 years ago.
But it's not coming from outside of you. All of this is actually that consciousness, your higher self, which is allowing you to evolve and process all of this so that it can come to a point where you can start working with it on a much deeper spiritual level. Because once you start working on that deeper spiritual level, what happens? Your consciousness evolves and you start to ascend to higher states of consciousness where you are more aligned with who and what you are.
Your journey, your universe, your God. However you want to address who you speak to, whether through your higher self, your Christ-like, your Jeshua, your Trinity 3, like I do. I've got my Trinity 3, my Holy Spirit, my Jeshua, my universe, my God, my Creator. He knows already. It knows already what you are planned to do for your timeline, in this timeline. But everything else, all the dogma, is distorting you and distracting you and causing all this chaos around you, because they don't want you to reach your potential. Because if you reached your potential, you would be so powerful. And in your power, you release everything that is possible for your timeline. But all the distractions are holding you fumbled. I'm fumbling. I'm stumbling. I don't know which way is which way. Gwen, where's the port? I can't see the port. And your Creator has already seen and mapped out what is intended for your purpose and for your journey. You just need to get there. You need to get there by finding your center and listening to that. Who's speaking to me? What voice am I hearing? And that is your higher self speaking to you, directing you into, you see that pain that you caused there? You need to deal with it. You see that trauma there? You need to let it go. And through that, wiping it, not forgetting about it. We didn't say that. We don't say forget about it.
And push it down even further.
Deal with it. Acknowledge it.
Recognize
it.
Feel it. Yes. Take responsibility for what. Feel your feels. That's what is the main message. And then through that, we come to self-love. And we don't even know how to do that. We're so busy blaming ourselves and blaming everybody else that there's no room for how am I actually feeling, and then being aware of the heart center, because the heart center is where the true intelligence lies. It is not in the brain. The brain is just part of a function, like the heart, like the pumping heart, like the liver, like the kidneys. The brain is just another organ. This is not who we are. This is not anything to do with anything other than processes. But the heart intelligence, now that is something completely on a different level. And this has to do with the feeling realm. Not this feeling, and not love and jealousy and hate and anger and happiness. No, it is energetic. It sits in the harmonic field. But we'll get there. Yeah. First, we need to ground. Then we need to understand what gratitude is and start working with heart intelligence.
Goodness me. What a riveting podcast this morning. And it flies, eh? When we check again, we've done 50 minutes. Next time we'll go hour and a half, and it's going to get worse. Wait, it's coming.
Worse, you mean better. Okay. Much better.
Much better.
So please go and experiment. Go and sit, go and lie down. There's a lot of stuff online about grounding.
But if you don't know how to do these things, reach out to us. We will help you. Both myself and Gwen, we know how to do these things. We do it on a daily basis. We ground, we center, we do breath work, we do alignment work. We know how to do these things. Otherwise, what's the point? What are we trying to tell people?
No,
it's all fictional. Yes, I know that we live in a very funny reality. Oh, that's another topic for another day.
But in this one, take responsibility. Go and experiment. Go and feel what it's like. And
take responsibility for your life.
Yeah.
The moment that you start taking responsibility for your life and for the love inside your heart that is trying to bleed out, that's trying to show you that there are so many beautiful possibilities for your life.
That we're clouded to because
completely.
Of
and the
chaos.
moment that you connect to your heart and you start listening to this organ and you start, hello, my heart. Oh, thank you. I love you. I'm so deeply in love with you, and I thank you for the beautiful essence and the organ that you are inside this body, and what you're teaching me, and what you're showing me to reveal, to bring me onto the path that I need to be the most powerful being in this timeline.
And this is our journey. How do we do that? Because that's exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
It was lovely to spend time with you, with the entire world today, and I'm envisioning that this is going to expand into the rest of the globe and the rest of the planet, and that's the intention. We want to form community. We want to collaborate.
Reach out.
Yes. We want other people to join us on these podcasts. And if you want to join in, and if you have comments, you want to talk about a certain topic, let us know. We'll talk about it.
Our email will be in the details below. So please feel free to reach out, communicate, and we can expand on topics you want to know more about.
100%.
So lots of love, beautiful people, and we'll see you again next week.
Namaste. Thank you so much for your energy and your essence. I value you as a human being and as a sentient being going through a tough journey on this planet.
All of us are. And we're all here together in community.
Love you.
So on that note, bye.